So when you get the trust of the audience, how do you protect that trust?
I think it's just by sticking to what originally got you that trust. You have to be super, super disciplined about what got you that trust for your audience in the first place and maintain that.
Jake Tran, the guy who blew up on YouTube for exposing corruption, governments, greedy capitalists, and scams, just to end up promoting the exact things he's exposing in his videos.
Like a total hypocrite?
Endorsing Ponzi schemes and doing whatever he can to exploit his audience. This is how Jake Tran went from being everyone's favorite YouTuber to one of the most hated YouTubers on the platform, all in the span of a single day. It was no surprise that Jake was willing to make money at any cost, even if that cost was his reputation and the fans that trusted him for years. Jake was born in Vietnam but moved to the US when he was 2. His family was too poor to pay for cable, so he grew up watching YouTube.
So I would watch these tech channels like Linus Tech Tips, Marquez Brownlee, both of them are still going strong today. Super big fans of them. And I fell in love with the idea of being a YouTuber and having fun making videos, getting brand deals, having sponsors, getting free stuff from sponsors.
And that's when the seed was planted in Jake's mind. And at that point, little Jake swore to never be poor again, and YouTube was his ticket out. That's when Jake started a YouTube channel on the only thing he was good at, Taekwondo. But 2 years and 5,000 subscribers later, he threw in the towel after realizing that the $66 a month from AdSense won't be enough to achieve the riches and fame he's been striving for. On the bright side though, Jake was a good student and was able to land a very lucrative job as a web developer, earning as much as $40 per hour. But soon enough he got bored of that job, and after reading the Millionaire Fastlane book, he decided he doesn't want to trade his time for money anymore. Jake's ambitions grew larger. After uploading a few mediocre talking head videos where he was trying to copy Graham Stephan, and slightly better ones after that, Jake's content showed signs of improving from copying others to crafting something rather unique. And on September 2019, Jake's life would change forever. He made a video on Graham Stephan, which Graham ended up sharing on his Instagram story, and the views just flooded. Within less than a month, Jake would get his first taste of making it big on YouTube with 100,000 views on that video alone. Shortly after, he posted the video that would shape his channel for the few years to come. By that time, Jake had effectively created his own niche, his own domain on YouTube, cementing himself as a recognizable name on the platform and finally hitting the glorious 100,000 subscriber mark. Jake's work ethic was crazy. To those who followed him back in the day, he would constantly post Instagram stories of himself staying up until 2 a.m. editing his videos. He was committed to a schedule of one video every Wednesday, even delaying videos in some instances because he simply couldn't finish them on time. He was very engaged with his community, even trying to reply to as many comments as possible. To his fans at the time, Jake was the most sincere and transparent guy. So transparent, in fact, that he made a video detailing how much YouTube paid him for getting 100,000 views on his Graham Stephan video, which is now deleted, of course. He continued to pour in content exposing everyone from China, the US, and Russia to the mafia and megachurches, and he just kept going. And Jake's YouTube domination showed no signs of slowing down. Until it did. With each one of his videos guaranteeing over 100,000 views, Jake started securing brand deals, something that most successful YouTubers do. However, while most of these YouTubers choose what type of sponsors to take on, whether it's because they only choose sponsors they believe in or only sponsors that they themselves use, Jake didn't seem to do so. Every video was a chance for Jake to plug in whatever sponsorship deal he could get his hands on, regardless of how unethical it might be or how much he believed in it. It was evident that Jake had outsourced most of his video production until he was practically nothing but an overpaid voice actor for the channel. That was until he stopped doing the voiceovers altogether. That's when his fans flocked into the comments section, some of them going as far as to beg him to actually do his job and do voiceovers for the channel that carries his name. It seemed like an unreasonable decision. Turns out there was a reason behind it, but we'll get to that later. With time, Jake's content started spiraling downwards, and the more he posted, the worse his videos' quality got. He went from crafting attention-grabbing titles and thumbnails to lazy and cheap tricks like red arrows, red circles, and laser eyes. And even lazier titles. Wow, this is disturbing. This is just evil. This is absolutely evil. Bruh, Jesus. Jake Tran's channel started to morph into a corporation that's built to exploit every true fan he still has at this point. He even started planning phases for his channel. So he started making what he called premium videos that are too controversial to be released to the public, that were not even narrated by him, which were more or less the same videos he'd been making on YouTube but behind a paywall. Additionally, he'd still use the same clickbaity titles and thumbnails for these videos that his audience already paid to watch. It seemed like Jake couldn't sink any lower, but sink lower he did. Jake not only didn't care what type of sponsorship deals he took, but he would also promote the exact thing he's exposing in the videos.
In the weird world of NFTs, there is something sinister going on where criminals are making off with millions with what's called a rug pull.
Once you realize, like, I'm making a lot of money flipping NFTs, you realize, oh my God, the project that I'm buying these NFTs from are making 5% of every single transaction. So like that's where the real money's at. I'll use the project that we're advising for as the example, the Cunning Wolf Society.
Lotteries are predatory. They play on our psychology to suck a stride of our hard-earned money. Play the no-lose lottery by pausing the video and clicking the link below.
I found another video of Jake's where he promotes this questionable cryptocurrency music platform. In the same video, he's talking about a cryptocurrency scam. In quote, he says,
Sounds confusing? That's because BitConnect wanted people to just barely understand what they were putting their money into. They wanted to attract people who didn't know that much about cryptocurrency. So if you're feeling confused, you would have been BitConnect's ideal investor.
And then he just follows that by shilling this.
TuneFM is the Web3 of Spotify that's actually live and working, meaning that you can click the link below, sign up, and start listening to music right now, just like you would for Spotify. It already has artists like Beyonce on there, and basically when the music gets played, the artist gets paid.
Jake's diehard fans didn't care, however, and it seems like he was getting away with it. Until this happened.
In 2022, you either die a hero or live long enough to sell NFTs. I noticed Jake Tran has his own weird little evil scheme going on, which I first noticed watching one of his videos. And what I noticed is that Jake makes these videos exposing scams, but then often uses the same tactics of the scam to then pitch you like a sponsor that's in the same lane.
August 5th, 2022 was the day that Jake Tran was publicly exposed when CoffeeZilla called him out, bringing more light on his shady sponsorship deals and audience exploitation.
And the product itself is actually legit. You can set up your own custom bots based on your parameters, deploy them to start trading automatically with your money, see the trades come in, and withdraw your money.
Now, of course, in Jake's defense, he'd say that Pionex, which is the trading bot, is legit because he tried them himself and he made money.
I've actually set up what's called their grid trading bot 11 days ago, give it $1,000 to trade with, and I'm already up 3% on it.
Now, the only problem with this argument is that Jake says he tried the product, but he messed it up because what he's talking about making him 3%, that trading bot, actually never traded a single transaction. It says this on his screen. There are 0 transactions in these 11 days he shows.
And the hottest niche in crypto right now is flipping NFTs, where people are making life-changing money just from getting on an NFT hype early on, buying and then selling soon after for insane amounts of money.
I'm supposed to be able to make life-changing profits by catching a hype train early, but I have to make sure I'm not the one left holding the bag. This sounds a lot like a Ponzi scheme.
CoffeeZilla's video seemed to get a shameless response out of Jake. What did you expect out of a channel that teaches you how to be evil, LOL? I apologize for nothing. Jake's growth took a hit, but it wasn't anything he couldn't recover from. He kept the content coming in, sponsors were still happy to pay him the big bucks, and he was effectively able to compensate twofold for every subscriber he lost by abusing the newest hot thing on YouTube, aka YouTube Shorts, where lazy clickbait mindless titles are the name of the game. At the end of the day, his viewers were merely numbers on his analytics studio screen and, more importantly, numbers in his bank account. This would lead us to Jake's latest endeavors. Remember when he outsourced his voiceovers? It turns out that he was busy planning for something else.
A lot of people sell courses. I personally don't want to be associated with that.
And that is where this course comes in. Financial Slavery Masterclass, where we're gonna expose all of this so you can learn exactly how to get rich and powerful yourself without doing any of the labor yourself.
Once again, Jake would find a way to put his videos behind a paywall of what he calls a practical course. But this time, it's a ridiculous overpriced paywall of $300. I bought this course recently, which is marketed as a practical guide, but in all actuality, it's just a documentary entertainment series. When I asked for a refund, I received no reply.
So if you're still on the fence, I want you to know that we have something special. Our sweatshop guarantee. Where after 14 enrolling, you want to open up a brutal sweatshop in Asia to stay enrolled, well just email us and you can have all your money back. 14 days, 100% refund guarantee. What more could you ask for? Click that button below to enroll now.
I don't even know what that was about. The truth is, Jake Tran is more successful than ever, is making more money than ever, and quite frankly, he's not showing any signs of stopping. He's already made enough money to set him up for the rest of his life, realizing the dream of little Jake who swore to never be poor again.
Because as Machiavelli once said, any man who tries to be good all the time is bound to come to ruin among the great number who are not good.
That is all the shameless plugs I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I mean that from my heart. You've been awesome. I've been Jake. I'll see you guys in the next one.